Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the All About Favorite channel. I am your host, Pastor KZ, and I want those of you who have subscribed, don't forget I got a promotional opportunity going on. Thank you, current subscribers, and all of your support. For the new subscribers, please go ahead and share with other people and let them know about the channel. And the promotion that's going on is I have a mug for a male and a female. I am attempting to get to 6,000 subscribers. The 6,000 subscriber gets a coffee mug, and the 6,001 subscriber will get a mug. Y'all share this video, hit the thumbs up, like the video, share it, and put some comments down in the comment section below. Those of you who don't feel comfortable commenting, go ahead and send me some emails, walkinfavor61@yahoo.com. Now, on today's Tell the Truth Thursday / Confession Thursday, I'm going to definitely start adding the word confession to the Tuesday episodes and the Thursday episodes, because we got confessions and truths running together with them all. Now, I want to say something that I neglected to say on yesterday's video. I want to say this. For those of you who feel like you have been in a rebound relationship, or you got left, someone you loved left you for somebody else and you didn't get closure on it, so now you've entered into a rebound relationship, let me share this with you. Maybe that was God's way of protecting you. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is the person that you think is for you leave you. Didn't nobody want to give me a high five on that? Yeah, sometimes the person that you really think you want is not the person God have for you. Sometimes that person you think you can't live without, and when they walk away from and leave you, guess what? That could be the best thing that happened for you. Heal, get your emotions in check, and then move on. But don't just move on in the midst of trying to heal. Okay? Now, today, on this episode, I want to speak about the word confession. Let's talk a little bit about the word confession. Here's the definition: a written or oral acknowledgement of guilt for something you've done. Confession: you are making a written statement, or you are orally, or you're verbalizing that and acknowledging something you've done that you might feel guilty about. How's that? Is that okay? Let me ask a question today. Are you willing to acknowledge something today with us? Or even with yourself? Are you willing to acknowledge something in your journal? Confess something in your journal that you've never even spoken out loud? Are you willing to acknowledge that the person that you deeply was in love with, and you knew this person was your soulmate without a shadow of a doubt? Let's say that person died and you're with someone now, and you know this person not your soulmate. And we're going to delve into that a little bit. What if the person you know is your true soulmate married to somebody else? What if that person who is your true soulmate, you haven't met them yet? You haven't crossed their paths yet. That's not to say you would never find them, but what if you haven't met him or her yet? Are you willing to acknowledge something today? See, all this week, we are talking about choices. Last week, the brother of the work husband, he made 3 choices. Number 1, he left his wife. Number 2, he moved in with a woman who he thought was his soulmate. Number 3, he went back home. Don't miss how I word any of this, okay? He went back home. I propose he did not go back to his wife. Notice I did not say he went back to his wife. I only said he went back home. He just went back home to the home that he shared with his wife, because the outside woman didn't want him no more. She used him and got whatever she wanted from him, and she didn't need him no more. So he went back to the home that he shared with his wife. Let that marinate in your spirit for a moment. Has that ever happened to you? Have your husband ever left you for another woman? or women, have you left your husband for another man, or even contemplated leaving your husband for another man? Oh, I hear you way in the back. I pick up your energy on these videos. I know somebody is saying, well, Pastor K, I done thought about doing it a lot of times. And I just really don't do it. But I think about it all the time. Are you willing to write that in your journal and acknowledge that? So now, this may seem far-fetched, but do you know how many people leave their current spouses, their legal husband or their legal wife, to go shack up with somebody else, only to return home? Because see, when you got over there, you saw it wasn't all what it looked like. Let me say this. I'm going to talk to women because I am a woman, beautiful black queen at that. Let me speak to you queens out there of all ethnicity, all my sisters from other ethnicities. Let me talk to us women for a minute, okay? You know what? Sometimes men will wine you, dine you. Okay, change that, Pastor KZ. We're in a different world now. Men or women, let me put it out there because some people, men or women may appear to have so much more to offer you. See, let me say this to you. Don't you know people study you and watch you and listen to you when you running your mouth in the break room, or when you opening up your heart and telling people your life story? First of all, you're telling your business too much. Let me move on from that. That's another show. But don't you know they've been studying you and watching you, and some folks know exactly what to say to you, because you know what? The things he's not saying to you at home, meaning your husband is not saying to you, some other man or woman will say those very words you need to hear at that particular moment. You side-eyed me? It's all good. I spoke the truth. Whatever your attraction is, be it male or female, I just happen to love myself some men, but let's talk about those who love other persuasions. People will say exactly what you want to hear. Everything you sitting there spilling your guts about that's not going on in the house, they studying that, and they going to say they going to do all them things. They may even present you with all of those things. If your husband don't bring you flowers, they going to bring you flowers. If your husband don't rub your feet, they going to be sitting up in the break room rubbing your feet. Next thing you know, your husband don't take initiative to make plans for your birthday, Mother's Day, any kind of holidays, or just because this person done scheduled a full massage for your dinner and put you on a jet and fly you somewhere to a private island, and you just think you in heaven. And then you go home and pack up and go move with this joker. Then when you get over there, it ain't nothing like what you thought. Because now they're like, you ain't cooking today? Cooking? The whole time you was dating me, I didn't never cook. We always went out. Well, that's going to stop. I've been just spending up money like crazy on you. Next thing you know, you're going to see sides of them that they ain't showed you before. Maybe they're not very neat. Maybe they're very nasty. Maybe they're verbally abusive and you never picked up on that before. Or maybe they're physically abusive. Or maybe they're now expecting you to come up with half of the rent money, half of the mortgage. Maybe they expect you now to pay your own way. But before you wasn't doing that, of course, girl, all of that stuff that they were doing before, they're not going to do. So guess what? Now you got to pack up your stuff, tuck tail, and go back home. Hang your head in shame and go back home. And hate being there, because now the dynamics of the relationship is never going to be the same. But I didn't mean to get off on that. But I told you, I operate as the Holy Spirit lead me. And somebody needed to hear this today. Don't you pack up and leave your situation unless you know for a fact what you're going into. And ladies, don't never pack up your situation and leave your home for somebody. You don't know what's out there. If you're packing up leaving home to move by yourself and start over and get the paperwork started on a divorce, that's one thing. But just to pack up and move in with somebody else, do not do it. Because I'm going to ask you, what were you thinking? Never do that. Now, this man left his wife, moved in with a woman. Now he back home. See, now He was telling us all of this junk before about he wanted to work things out with his wife. Please pray for us, blah, blah, blah. Now this man confessed that he's not even in love with his wife. He just likes his wife. Okay, let me say this. Now we have a woman who confessed to not being in love with her husband. It sounds like both of these two individuals on the Tell the Truth last Thursday and on Tuesday's episode, it sounds like they're saying something that a lot of people actually feel, but they won't confess it out loud. They won't be honest about it. They won't tell the truth about it. These two people are no different from a whole lot of other people. Only thing is they felt the need to share it with All About Favor on Pastor KZ's platform. And now both these people have something that is now incorporated in their marriage. Guess what? Now you're roommates. You don't sleep together. You stay on one side of the house, the other person stay on the other side of the house, but yet you still have family functions, you still go to family reunions together, you still operate as a couple. You're just not a real couple. Who feels me there? Now, I'm not talking about couples in their 70s, 80s, and up. Not talking about you all. You subscribers in your 70s and 80s, thank you all for your love and for your just coming on here and just sharing emails with Pastor KZ and all of your love. I'm not talking about y'all, because I know some of you, that was a different time if you're in your 70s and 80s. Some of y'all got married at 14, 13, 15, and you just been married 60 years. I'm not talking about y'all, because the dynamics of the reason you got married was different. First of all, if you're 14 and you get married, I often used to say this to my grandmother. What did you do at age 14 to be married? You 14, my granddaddy 19. What did y'all do? What did y'all talk about? And she said, baby, we got married in 1937. Different day and time. Y'all don't have to get married for those reasons anymore. My grandmother was on her way to death, about to die, and she didn't want to leave me here unmarried. So this boy came along, said he liked me, wanted to marry me, and boom, here we go, 58 years later. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the younger generation, 60 and under. You're roommates, and you're not happy. You don't have an intimate relationship. You just there. I don't want to hear the following things from you. Okay, first of all, I know you're best friends, but I want to talk to those of you right now who have choices to make and who made conscious choices. Someone who turned out to not to be your soulmate, but they're just your friend, and now you feeling stuck and trapped and you are not happy. I'm talking to you today. You made a choice. Why are you staying? Just something to think about on this Tell the Truth Thursday. Are you really willing to acknowledge or confess a truth about your current relationship? You know, and I know that you're not married to your soulmate. Now, those of you who are, God bless you. Yes, for you. Some of you married for convenience sake. Some of you married for stability. As I stated yesterday, whatever reason it was, if it wasn't the right reason, and who's to say what's right or wrong, but we're talking about in general terms when people say they're in love and blah, blah, blah. All of that good stuff. People at different age brackets marry for different reasons. I'm sure when you're 25 and you get married, you're bright-eyed, you're gonna, we're gonna build something together, babe. We're gonna, build an empire together. We're gonna be like Cookie, Lions on Empire. We're gonna do this together. Lucius and Cookie, I guess their name. That's who we are. We're gonna be Beyonce and Jay-Z. We're gonna build this thing. We're going to be like Will and Jada. Oh, for real? We know how that's working out, right? But let's move on. But when you're in your 40s now, see, you should be looking for something different. By the time a man, I'm just going to speak again to you women, by the time a man in his 40s, he should have something to offer by now. He should have done something with his life. By the time he's 40, he should have at least either A, been on a job almost 20 years, or B, owned his own business. You should not be looking at a man in his 40s, 50s, and 60s who working part-time somewhere and can't get a full-time job, and he has no benefits. He has nothing going for himself. Ladies, older ladies, just for the sake of you lonely and you just want a warm body. I didn't mean to say all of that today, but that's just something to get you to think about. And that is my prelude for tomorrow's episode. I'll be back tomorrow for food for thought. Hit the comments, please. Thumbs up. And those of you who have not subscribed, hit that notification bell and subscribe to the channel. Pastor KZ, I will see you back on tomorrow for Food for Thought Friday. Have a wonderful day. Gave you something to think about today. You willing to acknowledge something? Have a wonderful day. Stay focused. Those of you who are not focused, get yourself focused so that you can walk in favor.